Everybody, thanks for checking out the Chris Gethard Show podcast. That's really cool that you're checking this out.
We're about to do, I think, the dumbest show we've done in years.
His life would be trash! And you better believe I'm trashed.
We are scrappy trash people.
What's the point of this show? I just turned it on.
We've always been with this show.
We've always been trash people. We will always be trash people.
It's true.
This doesn't feel real.
Hello and welcome to We Are Trash People. We're the Twitch stream that every week we talk about something in the world related to the comedy Twitch streaming network.
Planet
Scum. I'm Emily Pineapple.
And I'm Forrest, keeper of the Canon.
And I am ridiculously excited for today.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have a guest.
That's right.
For all of you. And look, we're going to be spending some time. You know me, I like to talk about time. I like to think about time. It's a kitty. Time. Time is so important. And the most important thing to know about time is that right now, it's Susie's time.
Susie!
Welcome to the show, everyone. The glorious Susie. That's right. It's Susie Sucks 69 on the Discord. If you are somehow unfamiliar, Susie, our resident, hilarious improviser, comedian, singer, songwriter, glorious artiste. Susie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Hey.
I'm so excited that you're here. Let's jump into something, and then I want to check in with you. Here's on our board for the day. I need like a little classroom bumper where I am like, this is our agenda. A whiteboard.
My whiteboard's drilled in the wall downstairs, or I would go grab it.
God damn it, Susie! You're not just gonna rip apart your home for the show?
That's for the men.
That's for the men. That's true. First thing we're gonna do. That's right. It's tarot time. Second thing we're gonna do. We're gonna talk to Susie about what she's been up to. Part number 3. We're gonna do a little show and tell, and a segment that I made up but moments ago when I was thinking to myself, wow, I'd really like to watch a movie tonight. I need to ask Susie what movie I should watch. So we're calling it Susie's Movies. Right?
Okay. All right.
It's like ruined through the movies with Susie, which Susie has done and always given me incredible movie recommendations, friends. I'm so excited to do tarot time with you because, as many of you know, Susie is an accomplished tarot reader herself.
What time is it?
What time is it?
Cute. I like accomplished tarot reader because it implies that like tarot is something to accomplish or like achieve.
You know, the like tarot Olympics where you get the Olympic medals for tarot.
Virgus just bought their first tarot deck.
Hell yes! Hell yes! Tarot is a wonderful tool and tradition. And today we're going to be doing a tarot reading from the beautiful Planet Scum tarot deck designed by our very own Stephen Premmel. We got a compliment on the Smith's shirt. Hell yeah.
Hi, Joseph.
We were just watching a retrospective of the
Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, they're making gritty Fresh Prince now.
Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't... people used to, make, those joke videos where it was like, oh, gritty Power Rangers, gritty Ninja Turtles. And I love how even those would never go as just, satirically far as gritty Fresh Prince. And yet here we are.
I love that Gritty Fresh Prince was inspired by one of those, too.
Wait, which one?
There was a Gritty Fresh Prince video that inspired...
Oh, like a fake one?
Yeah, it was a joke one, and then it inspired... Will Smith loved it. And it, apparently inspired the new show. Oh, yeah, and 1BBBR would watch Fresh Prince if it was with Gritty.
If they did a Gritty-based reboot of Fresh Prince, I would absolutely watch that.
And Gritty does live in Philly.
He does live in Philly.
We just need to get him in trouble at a basketball court.
I mean, that shouldn't be too hard,
Gritty's
right?
been in so many fights.
Yeah.
Where is his mom? Who's Gritty's mom?
I mean, I think Gritty's just like God or like an eldritch abomination.
Yeah.
Like he's just kind of formed himself and continues to exist. Sorry,
So he would need to get scared for himself.
They need to exile themselves to Bel Air.
Yeah.
Flip turn Gritty's life upside down. Hell yes. Hell yes. Let's pull our first card. This is sort of like our theme of the week. Oh my God, it's the Toydarian again.
Is this so this is 2 weeks in a row of the Toydarian?
This is 2 weeks in a row of the Toydarian coming up as our theme for the week. The Toydarian, of course, represents owning 2 slaves. No. So this card is based on the Devil card, and we typically take it to mean sort of like harmless vices and addictions, the type that might get in the way of what we're doing. They might be something that we, are choosing to engage in at that moment for whatever reason. Our key points here being that these 2 lovely naked individuals can get out of those chains. Those aren't tight chains. Nah. They're not even pulling at them. They're kind of hanging out. And there's Watto. Glorious. Glorious Susie. When you see this card come up, or the Devil card, as the, theme card, what does it say to you?
I mean, it depends on how positive you're trying to spin it.
Yeah, right?
Because it could sort of be like getting out of those chains, or perhaps like not being as like tied to them, just like being able to like release and let go of like, I think for me, like I'll have the Devil come up when I'm trying to be like I don't know, like I'm really pushing for a certain outcome, and I feel like usually if it comes up for me, it's like, hey, like you gotta let it go. And so I think that could be an interpretation, or it could be, like you said, just sort of like vices that aren't necessarily like, I don't know, they're not keeping you like strict and super tight, but it's still just like restraining one in a way. I'm gonna get my tarot deck.
Hell yeah!
And show the accompanying card.
Oh, cool!
Yes!
Because
Oh my
I
God!
also I have a pretty non-standard tarot deck. It was given to me by my girlfriend, and I'm trying to think, where's the Devil, damn it?
What is the name? Does your deck have a particular name?
It's the Guided Hand Tarot deck.
Ooh.
And they're all like collage art. Shouts out Irene Mudd with 2 Ds. But this is what my Devil looks like here.
Ooh. Yeah, let's make that big.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Rad as fuck. That goat is there to tell you, nah, bitch.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go. I love that as an interpretation of pulling up the Devil card. Like the idea that we are too chained to an outcome. Or we are restraining ourselves in service of this like false idea of what the future should be, but we cannot plan this, for we are humans. Existential dread. Let's pull our next cards. These are our worst case scenarios for the week. Right here, we can have our stumbling blocks, the things we're going to run into that keep us from sort of achieving our goals in relation to what, though? George Lucas!
Retired filmmaker George Lucas.
That's right. It's the retired filmmaker card. George Lucas, based on the Judgment card. Judgment. And we usually take this to be, especially when it's on this sort of bad side of the deck, as judgment, as this sort of societal ideal, the old white man in the sky telling you how things should be so that he can trade his stocks with more assurance because more humans are adhering to similar life plans. That's all it fucking is.
Yeah.
They just want us to know when we're all going to be buying houses and making babies, and they're like really annoyed when people do shit differently. Fuck you, capitalism. So I'm really taking this to mean as our stumbling block, as judgment, as that sort of idea. And then, of course, our worst case scenario is Steve Harvey.
By the way, Judge Steve Harvey, I think, is premiering.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
Is that our worst case scenario or our best case scenario? I didn't know if there were two worst case.
Yeah, two worst case.
Okay,
so, like,
okay.
this is what's going to get in our way, and, like,
right.
this is the worst possible outcome.
Okay.
Look at his 3 hands.
Thank you.
He's there to fool you. He's there to tell you lies. He benefits from your continued oppression.
Oh, yeah.
What do you see with this, Susie?
Premiere.
Well, first of all, I want to show my Judgment and Tower cards.
Oh, I love Judgment. I love how Judgment is the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna bring that up, because I feel like that shows another aspect of the Judgment card, which is this sense of like, I don't know, like self-reflection and self-discernment. And so in a more like negative way, that could be like almost like over-judging yourself, like getting in your own way before, you know, anybody else possibly can. Which also then ties into the Tower, which is things getting in your way.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think it's interesting because it's like, with the Devil, there's both a sense of restraint and also of letting go, right? But then with the Tower, it's almost all just like, you have to let go. Like, it is falling apart. There is no option for you to hold on. And so I guess as far as, like, worst case scenarios, like, I don't know. And the Tower is also, it's sort of implied to be rather, like, sudden. Like, it's lightning. It's very instantaneous, but, like, it is still, like, happening. And so it could just be, like, you know, something catastrophic that, like, even beyond just, like, trying to hold on to an outcome, it, like, something that would remove any outcome. Basically just kind of, like, obliterate the situation almost.
So sort of like perhaps you're hanging on to something very tightly, and the worst case scenario is that everything dissipates. There's no way now for your outcome to happen. I really love that as a reading and as a look at the Tower. I also wonder if it sort of like implies, like, when you were saying that at first, I was like, oh, maybe if you are engaging too much in judgment and in holding too tightly to some sort of outcome, perhaps a view of yourself, etc., you won't be ready in case this sort of things happen. Like, this kind of thing would then be devastating. I keep thinking of Succession. Have you seen Succession?
I have seen Succession. That show's like all Tower.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
But also, like, it's definitely, like, very much like a lot of Devil. Like, they're very, like, schemy and, like, we're gonna get our little outcome. And then it's just shit they couldn't have even fucking seen coming. Which I did want to bring up in regards to judgment, and this is shown more on the retired filmmaker than like my card necessarily. But the sort of like rapture imagery of that card, right? And I think that can like almost like relate to the tower. Like it is something beyond your control that is still like calling you. And that's kind of, that may like wreck all your shit. Like that calling may wreck all your shit, and it may not be a calling you really want, which is why it's like a downside, bad thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah.
I really like that too, and it sort of holds on to that push and pull. I love, so Joseph says they're concerned being judged for their surf punk album, which sounds awesome, and truly fearing a future where someone actually hears it. That, I feel like, is this. You're like, oh my God, I need to make this thing. I need to make this art, right? And you're like judging yourself and making it and thinking about, or at least this happens to me when I'm making art sometimes, like trying to think how the outside person is going to see it and being like, is it good enough? Is this nebulous, unheard of, unseen viewer, how are they going to think about it? It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And you end up in that push and pull place, which really, like the imagery on your judgment card of like, I both really want this outcome, but I really fear this outcome because it feels out of my control.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Ooh.
Let's look at the best case scenario for this week. Yeah, let's look at the good shit. Let's look at the good shit.
Good stuff.
Let's see the good shit. This is what we got going for us.
Okay.
These are our boons.
Boons.
This is what is, of course.
The foundation.
The foundation. Our patriarch without the patriarchy. All the things that we have built up for ourselves. And this is, of course, based on the Emperor. Oh, and look at this. Look at what our best case scenario of the week is. We got the judge.
The judge.
The true judge.
The true judge.
I don't give a fuck about any other judge.
Yes.
Yes.
We got the judge.
Not the imposter judge.
Imposter judge.
Imposter.
Absolute imposter.
Yes.
Look at his 3 hands. I love it when we get the judge and judgment.
Yeah. It's interesting when you get both. It plays to the double-sided nature of the retired filmmaker card very well.
Yeah, and the double side of judgment, how like your own internal judgment and sense of liking something is what's gonna push you towards creation. But you just gotta be careful not to let this motherfucker crawl in.
Don't let me crawl in.
Rapture your shit.
Don't let me rapture your shit.
Don't let him add confused CGI stormtroopers.
Don't let me block your judgment with a giant alien creature's side.
Don't do it!
Don't do it.
But I love this. What do you see? What do you see in these, Susie?
Alright. Show and tell.
Oh.
This, hold on, let me make sure they're visible. That's the Emperor.
Oh, cool.
This is Justice.
Yeah.
Oh, is the Emperor is just a big old ram?
Yeah. Or, I don't even know if it's really a ram. It almost looks like I don't know. It looks like a deer almost, but like with a skull up front and then like horns.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
Interesting.
So, I think Justice, like, I don't know. It's like a card about like balance. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's a lot about, like, I don't want to say it's a lot about, Justice confuses me. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's such a weird, like, it can be such a weird, like, nebulous card. Right. And, like, I almost feel like it's sort of, like...
Can we see yours again?
Yeah. Alright, it's this.
Okay, sick. This, like, person, they're blind. They have a thing. They're holding scales.
Yeah, they're, like, holding the scales. It's, like, balanced on their thumb, it looks like.
Okay.
Like, it's
Hell
very
yeah.
much about, like, I don't know, balance and sort of, like, trusting yourself. Like, I don't know. I think kind of almost is, like, the opposite of our sort of judgment retired filmmaker card. I think this is more about just, like, I don't know, because judgment almost seems like this big fucking thing, and it is like this big calling or big like self-reflection, like awareness thing. And like I feel like this is speaking to something not quite as big. It's not as much about just like the outsizeness of it all. It's a lot more about like sort of balance and like even keel and like not necessarily. And I think the like balance and even keel thing sort of ties into the Emperor, like being very like logical and direct,
steady,
yeah, like focused on the earth, focused on like stability. Because I do also think, and anyone feel free to call me on my shit on this, but I feel like 4 is kind of like a number of stability in the tarot. And so like I mean, you know, the major arcana is meant to be like the greatest representative of all these, and so like the Emperor is sort of like this big stability. And so I feel
it's
like
the fourth card of the major
it's the fourth
arcana.
it's the fourth card of the major arcana. Thank you.
But you're absolutely right. Everywhere I've heard read 4 is like our stability number, like 2 is our balance number. Ooh, 3 is about change. How many of these am I going to remember off the top of my head? Only those 3.
Yeah. I know 5 is supposed to be like where like spirit meets form or something, like conflict.
Yeah.
Like it's a conflict number, but it's like spirit meeting. That's also what I think about. So I'm glad. Wonderful, beautiful rendition. But I think those 2 cards together speaks towards like, I don't know, a very like grounded and like, I don't know, I think about like balance in terms of like persistence and not as much about like balance isn't 50-50 all the time. It is a flow and it is an equilibrium. And like a scale balancing on a thumb, like it's not going to be perfectly still the whole time. There's going to be little fluctuations even if it's largely still. And so this is, I guess that's kind of speaking to that. It's like being able to move and be both like grounded and sort of like flowing at the same time.
And I love how it's reflected. That's reflected in the flowing curtain.
Yeah.
That reflects the red, of course, of the sky. And how she is not standing, you know, with her 2 feet on the ground. She's in this jaunty position with the flow. And just what you said, Susie. You'll just say things sometimes. You'll read poems. You'll say songs, and I'll be like, that's going to stay with me forever. Balance isn't 50-50 all the time. It's about flow and being balanced and retaining your inner judgment of what needs to happen to get you to your goals isn't going to look like this.
No.
It's not going to be a balanced picture. I mean, and this composition just has so much balance in it.
Yeah, I think it's funny. The Judge Millie card is like inherently unbalanced in the art. Like most of Millie is on like the other side of a particular half.
Even
like,
though they have
still
the pillars
balance between those the columns.
Yeah.
Which I love, and that just speaks so much to like, you know, real talk. I have chronic illness. This week I've been in a fog. That means I wake up and I'm exhausted and I watch video essays all day. But remembering that every time, every like moment that I make the choice during like this week and a half that it usually lasts, doesn't mean that I'm not working towards my goals. No. It doesn't mean that there's an end to things. It means, to me, and especially with what you said, finding the inner balance. It's not 50-50 all the time. Sometimes you need to spend 100 of it in bed. And that's fine. That's still balanced. Yeah! The fog is
foggy,
thick,
folks.
brah!
I do want to. I would feel bad if I didn't shout out Amy Nezuka Matadl. She is a Mississippi-based poet.
Oh.
And like she like came and talked to my class one time, and she talked about like that idea of balance. And like I don't know, I think it's definitely like put a lot of words to like something I'd already been like thinking about and feeling. So
That's
I do
beautiful.
just want to like.
How do you spell that person's name? Let's look them up.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Amy, or could you say it again? We could probably find it phonetically.
Amy Nezuka Matadl.
Mazuka Matadl.
It's Amy, like Amy Mann's name.
Oh.
And then there you go. If you just look Amy Nez, the rest of her name will pop up.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. I think. Fuck. Do I still have any of her books?
Lucky Fish Miracle. Ooh, what a beautiful website.
I do. This is her book Oceanic. It's her book of poetry. It's got a pull quote from Roxane Gay on here.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but she writes a lot. Like I don't know. She writes about sort of like. I mean, she writes about a lot of stuff. Poetry.
That's awesome. I want to learn more about poetry. I never studied it, but I've always fancied myself a poet. Or more, I like found my old poems from high school and was like, damn, that's a nice turn of phrase.
Yeah.
Why the fuck didn't I work on this?
It's just fun. I can't paint, so poetry's like word paintings for me.
It totally is. It totally is. Susie, I love your poetry.
Yeah.
I love your songs and your turns of phrases. Let's look at our final card. This is the advice card. Oh my God, y'all. We got God. We got Robbie Hoffman, the rabbi. This is the card of, and it's based on the Lovers, is the closest card to this one. And what's wonderful is it's the Lovers. She's sort of representing the angel that's in the middle of some representations of this card. And it's just her own inner garden. This is the card of true inner, like following your gut. You know what? We're not nothing.
Oh, and Virgos is submitting poetry to literary journals this year.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations, Virgos. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Susie, do you have the Lovers for us?
I do have the Lovers. It's lesbians.
Oh, I love it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's a great card.
Yeah.
What a beautiful, like, classic
Which
romance.
is funny. There's no like angel overseeing them. It's just the lesbians. So Robbie Hoffman's ideal situation, probably.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like. Okay, I also want to say, it reminds me of the sun. Like, it reminds me of the sun. And that may just be, it reminds me of my sun card specifically.
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, like, it reminds me of my sun card. And so I'm going to put them together. I'm going to use both of them for my interpretation.
Please.
I love that.
Because, like, I don't know. I feel like the Lovers definitely speaks to this sense of like harmony, and like even going back to like, you know, the justice thing of like harmony and balance, but like also like the rabbi is like a solitary figure. Mm-hmm. You do not need a lover per se to attain that harmony or to attain that balance. It can be found within relationships, but like I think the rabbi is also saying that like that can be found within yourself. And like that can be found at like any time, and like you have like your own little personal garden, and that like, yeah, I don't know, that is like allowed to grow too, and like that can be a priority. Like that's the thing that like deserves to flourish.
I love that.
I love that. I love that reading.
Yeah.
You know, I was just kind of realizing how they have this sort of similar shapes of yellow coming down upon it. And I think that just sort of represents that connection between inner love, inner judgment, listening to your gut, and listening for, and it can be hard to like listen to your gut when you have anxiety, which I'm sure all of us do. Because the world, like, oh man, like no one's getting out of this without anxiety. So it's hard to be like, oh, I'll listen to my gut, but my gut is saying everything's falling apart all of the time, and I should probably hyperventilate about it. And so looking for like, all right, like where is the part of my gut that is also connected to my self-love? And it's something with like, I know I do trigger point therapy on like my arm muscles. And the point of that is that you find a part that fucking hurts, like a little spot, and then you move around your hand and it helps like loosen that muscle. But in my instruction book for it, for the tool, it's like, you gotta find the pain that feels like healing pain. Like, you know, good pain. Like the pain that means things are getting better. And I'm like, this is a theory that is like this discussion is a lot bigger than this little instruction manual, my friends. But it's like that. It's like finding the good spot where it's like, all right, well, like part of my stomach is just like smoke weed and watch BoJack Horseman. And the other part is like, all right, take a nap. Just take a fucking nap. Yeah. And you're like, I'll take a nap. Or smoke weed and watch BoJack Horseman. You know, that could be the healing thing. Helped me when people in my family passed away.
Yes.
I watched those episodes of BoJack Horseman that relate to death, and I'm like, wow, that really helped me. Friends, this is the Tarot of the Week.
Yeah.
With Susie's time. Susie, thank you so much for showing us your card and your incredible interpretations.
Thank you.
I love hearing your thoughts, especially on these things. And now all I want to do is make collage tarot cards.
Yeah, that's a really
They're
cool
so
idea.
cool.
Right? Oh my God, they're beautiful.
I love them.
Are they like prints of collages?
Yeah, they're printed out, and like mine are definitely like mine are worn to shit. Because I do a lot of readings, but like I mean it's all just like I cannot figure out a way to get these visible to save my life. But like you just got a bunch of fucking collages.
They're gorgeous.
I love them.
Susie, can I ask what I know that I know we've talked about this, but tell us about the role that tarot has played in your life and how you integrate it into your life for, you know, your well-being, for your spiritual, mental, emotional, all of those wonderful things that make Susie Susie.
Yeah, I mean, like I do like a reading every morning, just as like part of my like morning routine. And
is this usually like a 3-card pull, or what kind of pulls do you do?
All right, so it started as 1 card, and then it went up to like a mind, body, spirit, and then it became like mind, body, spirit, full of self, and then it became like I think the full spread I do is like mind, body, spirit, full of self, my card for the day, and then like an advice card.
Ooh. Nice.
And so I'll do that, and then I mean just like throughout the day, like I don't know. Like I'll have stuff come up, and so it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna like go back to this reading, and just be like, okay, where am I with this? Like, what is like resonating with me? Because you know, I can pull those in the morning, and then just like forget about it, and then go back later and be like, oh fuck, like that's what that was about.
I was supposed to be feeling my emotions today.
Yeah. I also definitely will just like make tarot readings about choices I'm making.
Nice.
I think a lot of that started when I was like still like in my car a lot, because I was like, I don't really have anyone to talk to, and I'm anxious about so much, or I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to, so I just did a bunch of tarot readings, and then I've continued to do tarot readings, even though I am not mostly living out of my car anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I would say that's the bulk of it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, so here's my thing with tarot cards and with most divination tools. And I have been playing with divination tools for most of my life. Just like really into runes and then cards and then numbers and all sorts of shit. If I do them too much, I get really anxious.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how I would feel starting to up how often I do them now, because I have come out to myself as bisexual. And I'm like, how much of like my readings were just me being anxious? Like, is it going to tell me I'm gay? Like, is it going to tell me I'm not? Am I?
Yeah.
Panic increases.
I think there are definitely times where I'll like do readings and be just like really like anxious, and I think usually when I recognize that, it's like, okay, I need to like go do like something else. Cause like, yeah, definitely, I think sometimes just like, I don't know, I really appreciate tarot as like a lens, and it's like sort of like a way to assist with processing, but like it is also like, you know, it's not the only way.
Yeah, exactly. And it is, it's a really lovely thing to use in that way. Somewhat like those like emotions cards.
Oh yeah.
That they make for like therapy. It's like, I'm feeling a feeling, like pull a card, and it's like journal, or like take a deep breath. Let me talk about some maladaptive thinking thoughts. Thinking patterns. Thinking thoughts. Those thoughts. Just thinking about those thoughts.
Some delicious thoughts. I'm eating them up in my thought mouth, and they're pretty good.
The thought mouth feel.
The thought mouth feel, yeah. The thought tannins, I mean, they're just really tannin-y.
Oh, yeah. I
don't know if y'all have seen the movie Pig starring Nicolas Cage.
No.
It came out last year. It is very good. But there's a whole scene where he just like sits with like a 6-year-old and explains what tannins are.
Oh.
Because his character used to be a chef. His character used to be like a really like good chef. And so he just explains to this kid what tannins are.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah. After the Mary episode where bleached tannins was the theme, I feel like I should really learn more about tannins.
I still barely know what they are, but Nicolas Cage has given the best explanation I've heard yet.
Apparently they can like leach out of paint and discolor the snow.
I don't even know. I just thought they were in wine.
Right? So did I. I was shocked when I learned that they can discolor snow somehow, other than like pouring wine on snow, obviously then.
Yeah.
You know when you just pour wine on snow?
Well, no, because I don't get snow.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you guys really do either.
I've seen it 5 times in my life.
Yeah, right?
Okay, I'm at least beyond that.
Yeah.
We get snow. We got snow recently, and it just like, it was 72 degrees in the morning and snowing at night.
That's a lot.
That was scary.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing.
That's not good. Yeah.
That's not good.
No. Just because humans can does not mean humans should.
But it mostly just stuck to the roofs of cars and stuff because, you know, it had been 70 degrees that morning. Most things were too warm from it being 70 degrees for any snow to stick on the ground.
It's like, what are you even doing, weather?
Yeah,
what
that's too much.
Doing? Let's move on to our next segment of the show.
It's show and tell.
It's show and tell. And what we wanted to show off this week, because like I said, this week I've been watching a lot of video essays. Yeah. We wanted to share this YouTuber that we have been binging, essentially. This person, Matt Baum, does videos about queer stuff in TV and movies and the impact that it had on society. and the things going into it.
One of the ones that seems the most up the alley of Planet Scum folks is there's one all about the puppeteer who played Scooter and was Bert's nephew.
Yeah.
And all that. And his whole life and everything.
Yeah, which was really great.
Was
we watched Ghoul Friend is really fun, all about Elvira.
That was really interesting.
And how she got control of her character and how like badass that was.
And how that's the only reason Elvira still exists. Because the TV station that before that owned all the rights to Elvira got shut down for fraud.
And it also has a lovely video on the Golden Girls, which showed clips of the Golden Girls. And now I know why the Golden Girls is funny. I didn't know before. I was like, Betty White, you mean Carrie Fisher's mom? Now I know.
I think I had like a gay man sit me down just like, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago and just be like, we're watching the Golden Girls. That guy said the N-word, so I don't really know if I trust his opinion on most things. But the Golden Girls is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a weird... I met that guy, like, it was... I only met him the once. I only met him the once, and he just, like, fluttered in like a little white demon angel and like said the N-word and left, and that was just how it was. Horrible. It was terrible. But it was a baffling time. But you know, Golden Girls is good.
Yes.
And I also got to show somebody Sorry to Bother You and then watch them miss the point in real time.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
They're like, wow, you know, it'd be awesome having a company that is also the place that you live.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna live inside of Mark Zuckerberg. Not Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg in particular.
With the metaverse, now you can live inside of Mark.
I'm gonna build a home, and it's just going to be like a recreation of Mark Zuckerberg, and like it's going to be internally accurate too. Like it's gonna be like the rooms are like hearts, and like, you know, you can like go visit the toilets in his bladder, obviously.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? You just gotta go through, and then like his intestines are like a little tunnel, you know, for the kids.
A slide.
I thought you were going to pull a Fantastic Voyage and shrink down teeny tiny and set up shop inside of the real Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
or
do you think the
John
guys
Malkovich
from Downsizing could fit inside of Mark Zuckerberg?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Science demands it. Yeah, science demands that Matt Damon moves into Mark Zuckerberg and has to film all further crypto shilling ads for Mark Zuckerberg's colon.
So why did they get Matt Damon for that? That's such a weird, like, I mean, there's no good way to advertise crypto because it's a scam, but like, it's just, I feel like that's gonna be the thing. On like whatever, I don't know, maybe it'll still be HBO documentaries in 20 years, but like in 20 years, they're going to be like the rise and fall of Ethereum. And they're going to show that clip from the Matt Damon ad, and it's just going to be like, damn. It's like when they show like clips from like, I don't know, like famous people being involved with cults, or like the how-to with John Wilson, where he just shows a bunch of footage of the guys from Nexium. It's gonna be like that, where it's just like, man, hindsight 2020.
It's like the ads where Fred and Flintstone and Barney are selling cigarettes, and it's just like, did you know this used to happen? And it's full on. It's a wild ad.
Wild.
Wait, I'm looking at the comments. Are you 1BBR? Are you saying you were no longer a fan of the coup after that? But that is also cool that you were there.
Yeah.
And also beautiful city. We have not talked about the giant Lotso on my bookshelf.
Yes.
My sister did the Disney World internship, and she thought it would be funny to buy me a giant fucking Lotso. And she's right, it is. So
what is a Lotso?
On my shelf. It's like, did you ever see Toy Story 3?
I thought so.
It's the bear.
Like the big evil bear.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's the big evil bear.
It's the big evil bear.
Lots
who dies at the end.
Hold on.
Spoilers,
let me take
sorry.
it down to give an approximate size.
Yes.
Oh, 1BBBR is still a fan of the coup.
Oh my god. I thought the nose was its eye. Like, I was like, I don't know what that creature is. Oh my god, that is huge.
Yeah, Lotso's big.
This is how you wear headphones, right?
Look, I'm smelling you, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'm like a person-sized person, and this is how big the bear is. Its head is about as large as mine, I'd say. And then, like, hold on, let me. This bear is about like.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big bear.
That's a torso-sized bear.
Wow. Also, Blogtoven has a correction. He doesn't die. Sid gets him for the garbage truck.
Okay.
I think he gets strapped on the front.
Of the garbage truck.
Yeah.
So, wow.
I gotta set my Kermit back up now.
He smells like strawberries.
He does. I had one when I was younger that like did genuinely smell like strawberries.
Oh.
Oh my god.
It was weird. It still smelled like strawberries as of like 3 years ago.
Wow.
I know.
That's interesting.
How?
I'm worried about the hat later. Okay.
Like, what horrifying chemical did they put in that?
I don't know.
That's gonna deplete the
scary.
ozone in 20 years. Like,
That's what's causing the wallification of the earth.
Yep. Yep.
The wallification of the earth is so good.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Susie, do you have something that you want to show and tell, and or give us a movie that we should watch tonight?
I'll do. And hold on, I need
cool.
I need to grab things. I'll be right back.
Ooh, little Richie.
I don't remember having a scented stuffed animal.
Me neither.
So I think we might just be a little older than that particular stuffy innovation, perhaps? Like, or did we just not individually have that? I wonder when they started inventing this, the means of giving scents to stuffed animals.
And if you huff it, will it get you high?
That wasn't my question, but that's a good question.
I mean, when I hear something is smelly, I'm like, who's going to try huffing it? And what's going to happen?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Usually I would just get marker on my nose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, it smells.
I
You
remember
huff
those. I remember those.
Yeah. Do you know John Waters released a scratch and sniff movie? That's true. You can look it up.
Of course he did.
Oh my god. I love that.
Yeah. I want to say it's called Polyester.
It is.
I think that's the one that was scratch and sniff. Yeah.
It is.
Oh my god. I love that.
Here we go. A whiff of polyester inside the odorama process. I love it. Oh, I love it. And of course it's incorporated into the plot.
Fart.
Yeah, fart, skunk spray, and dirty shoes.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder if Print-A-Scent still exists. Could we do a scratch and sniff? It does.
Oh my
We
god.
can do a scratch and sniff episode of We Are Trash
Oh
People.
my
We have to do
God.
that, Forrest.
Yeah. See, here's the Print-A-Scent website. Scenting the world with possibilities.
Holy shit.
And their fragrances.
I cannot believe they still exist.
Wow.
Barbecue.
Ooh, and
Fish.
they have a whole stinky section.
Rubber. Compost. Durian.
manure.
Marijuana.
Mildew, mothball, and natural gas.
Wow. Bell pepper.
Wow, peanut butter and peanut butter cookie are separate. Ooh, pizza.
Sugar Daddy.
Sugar daddy.
What is
under
this
miscellaneous.
sugar daddy?
It's a candy.
Does it smell like sugar daddies or sugar daddies?
I assume it smells like the sugar daddy candy.
I'm like a sweaty old man. Like,
that would make the most sense.
But I prefer oh yeah.
Yep.
I prefer that it
That's the way
smells
to
just
do
like
it.
sugar daddies.
Yeah, I prefer that it's like aqua velva and sweetness.
Rugrats had it.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
The Rugrats movie apparently had a scratch and sniff, which like seeing that set off some bell somewhere in my brain of remembering.
When did the Rugrats movie come out?
1999, because it was where either 98 or 99, because it was the first place I saw the trailer for The Phantom Menace.
It came out in it was November 20th, 1998. That movie is older than me.
Yeah. Yeah. I just remember seeing the Phantom Menace trailer and talking about that more than the Rugrats movie as soon as I got out of the theater.
I remember seeing the trailer for Revenge of the Sith when I was like 5, and it scared me so much I would refuse to go see movie trailers for like the next 3 years.
Wow.
I would have like panic attacks before going to the theater. I would freak the fuck out.
So it was the later Rugrats movie where they cross over with the Wild Thornberrys, not the original where they get...
That got a theater release?
3 of them did, yeah.
Wow.
Because there's the Rugrats in Paris, which also got him in like a theater release.
But the Wild Thornberrys crossover getting the theater release.
Or was that a TV movie? 1BBBR says it was a...
Because it sounds like it should be a TV movie, but
Nickelodeon.
I wouldn't. Yeah, Nickelodeon is wild.
And it was Rugrats Gone Wild. It was the third film...
Yeah, it was released in theaters in 2003.
In 2003. 1 year after Attack of the Clones.
What the fuck? It was hype as fuck? Yeah. I bet it was. They're willing to put it in a fucking theater.
Yeah, and there you go. The film used and it even used Odorama. It used the exact same process that John Waters used.
Oh my god.
I would love to talk to do an interview with John Waters all about Odorama used in movies.
I wonder if he's like kept it up like later on in his life, like if he's just got like a drawer of like scratch and sniffs in his house.
I like the idea that he makes a scratch and sniffs for all his other movies after Polyester. It's just no company's willing to go along with it. So he's like, you haven't really seen my movie until you've seen it with this.
I just want this cereal mom Odorama.
I want the Odorama of his Simpsons episode. What does his store smell like? What does Homer's fear smell like when the reindeers get mad?
I've been watching through Search Party, and I know he's on the next season, and that I believe he sells babies, so...
He does.
I hope he has a scratch and sniff for that.
Apparently they recast Chucky.
In the Chucky movies?
Chucky Finster.
Or in the new Rugrats.
I think in Rugrats Gone Wild. Oh, it was Nancy Cartwright.
Who is that?
On The Simpsons.
She's
Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
Hell yeah.
Wait, which one was in Maximum Overdrive? Is that the voice of Lisa?
Yes. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think it's Lisa. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's Lisa.
Yeah, because
it's Yeardley Smith.
I remember seeing her in that movie, and I'm like, why is Lisa Simpson a real person who looks like that and is in this movie? I was very confused.
I'm always surprised when it turns out a cartoon character's actor isn't doing a voice.
Yeah,
per se.
I thought she was doing a voice.
But no, she just sounds like that.
That's insane.
And so she just sounds like Lisa Simpson.
And looks like that.
Looks like this.
Yeah, it's...
Which one is conservative? Ollie Garden's asking. I don't know.
Not Yeardley.
The SNL lady from UHF.
Yes, she is conservative, which is a bummer. Victoria Jackson.
Yeah, that's her name. I, for some reason, get her confused with Terry Garr. Separate people.
I see that.
Separate people.
Okay, apparently, I think it's... So, Nancy Cartwright is apparently a Scientologist. So she might be the conservative one? Yeah. Okay, it's the Scientology thing that Ollie was thinking of. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
But Yeardley's not. Yeardley is not, and her political view is listed Democratic. So Yeardley seems more okay. And Dan Castellaneta is... I don't know what his deal is. He's Homer.
He's just Homer.
He's just Homer.
He's also the replacement genie in the straight-to-VHS Aladdin movies.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That makes sense.
Oh, he's a vegetarian and okay, he's probably fine. He's a vegetarian and teetotaler who practices Tai Chi.
Ooh.
No, he's also a devout Catholic and a Democrat. Or is this what we're? I didn't expect the episode to briefly turn into let's figure out the political views of all the Simpsons cast.
Yeah, I do also have my show and tell items.
Just yes, let's look at
my
that
goodness.
instead.
Okay. So it was my anniversary with my girlfriend this past weekend.
Happy anniversary!
Thank you. So last year, I got us matching hats that say the word "chump" on them.
I love that.
That started. I don't know if you're aware, but fucking Bob Dylan made like a 17-minute song about the JFK assassination. It's true. It's called "Murder Most Foul."
Wow.
Oh my.
Real lyric. Rub-a-dub-dub. A murder most foul. It's
Wow.
so long.
Wow. What else?
16 minutes and 56 seconds.
Yes, it's so long.
He came out in 2020?
What?
Yes.
What? What? Wait, what? I was on board until that fucking. I'm like, okay.
In a statement released with the single, Dylan indicated that Murder Most Foul was a gift to fans for their support and loyalty over the years.
What?
And of course, it's a reference to Hamlet.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Murder Most Foul.
What a gift indeed. Oh, heart Alice.
I realized I'm not gonna keep explaining that. I'll tell you later. But my girlfriend gave me a new chump hat.
Oh,
now,
fancy chump.
Yeah, fancy chump.
I love that.
Yeah. My other show and tell is I became a white man and got a steel book.
Love it.
Pop star never stopping.
Okay, wait. Okay, we need to back up.
Yes.
It's there. He's
What is
attacking
this?
a big giant bee on the front.
What is a steel book?
Okay, a steel book is it's literally just like a fucking DVD or Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah, I can show you.
But like it's like made of like it's not plastic. Yeah.
Okay. It's for a DVD. It's not like a book that you read pages of. I'm like a Danielle Steele book. I've never had.
No, I mean it's just a DVD, but like, yeah.
I think he must have a Star Wars one, because he's like, I have it. I know. Am I wrong? I'm right. It's the Last Jedi.
Okay, nice.
I also have the Rogue
good
One.
Star Wars movie.
I also have the Rogue One
used to
steel
have a Scott Pilgrim steelbook, and then I took it to my residential high school, and I lost it.
Oh no!
And my sister and I like hunted it down in a Walmart on Black Friday. And so it was definitely, that was tragic. That was really sad.
Yes.
David Sims does like them, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like, it's not like, as far as expensive DVD purchases though, I don't really tend to go for steel books. I tend to just go for stuff, I don't know, I buy Criterion, so I'm not gonna lie, but, oh hey.
Yeah, these
balance.
This and Rogue One, I think, are they're the main ones I have.
Yeah.
And Rogue One, it was because it had a swappable front cover, so I could put my favorite character on the front, and I'm like, yeah, it's Chirrut. Hell yeah, Donnie Yen. It's Donnie Yen's movie.
You were very excited.
It is his movie. He's like the best part of it.
He absolutely is.
He's a gay blind Jedi man.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What else is there to love?
Like,
it's the character I always wanted to see in a Star Wars.
Yeah. I don't want anything else. I don't need anything else.
No.
I got him.
Yeah,
Right?
Star Wars was done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't done until
Wow.
The Last Jedi, and
Yeah.
then Star Wars was done forever.
Yeah. Oh.
Mandalorian.
Okay. Movie recommendations.
Yes.
Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping is an eternal classic. If
Okay.
you haven't seen it, you should.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know. I think arguably one of the funniest movies released in like the past 5 to 10 years, but you know, if you're like, okay, I want something a little less funny, Also, it made like no money when it came out. I went to see it in theaters, and it was me, my friend, and a random guy who sat 3 rows behind us. And I'm like, guy, you gotta respect the grind. You just need to leave. It's just us 2. You gotta go. I saw Spider-Man. I finally saw the new Spider-Man. Like,
Ooh, what do you think?
Last week, I do love the Bash Brothers album.
Yeah, the Bash Brothers movie is very good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I thought Spider-Man No Way Home was a hot mess with fun moments.
That's the impression I got.
Yeah, it's. I don't really think I expected anything other than that, and I watched it, and I was like, cool. But I went in there, and it was just me and my friend. I was trying to like avoid as many people as possible. Yeah, I was trying to avoid as many people as possible, so I went at 9:30 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
And it was just me and my friend, and we like walked in there, and there was just a couple in the back. And if I was by myself, I think I would have left, because it's like, no, you guys gotta leave it be. But I'm just like, I'm hoping I like ruined their plans to fuck or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping that they're gonna be like a little saucy. You know, they were like maybe like trying to scheme it out. You know, oh, there's not gonna be anybody under. It's 9:30 on a Wednesday, and then just me and my fucking doofus ass friend walked in, and you know, we sat so many rows ahead. They could have done it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw whenever 1BBBR, to your point, whenever I saw Dune, it was just me and the friend I went with.
Oh, nice.
And this was like 3 days after release. Dune was not a hot movie in my local theater. Now it was a hot movie in my local theater. Okay, you had at least 5 people buying tickets for it every day. Venom 2.
Yeah.
Venom 2 is still in my local theater.
Oh, what?
It went away and then it came back.
Whoa. They just really want to let the devil in Alien.
Yeah. Oh, you should totally see Dune.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally see it. It's fun. It's very Dune.
Joseph, I did not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but I also like, I never read Dune.
It's one of those movies.
I never read Dune, so I was judging it on, is this a good movie? Mm-hmm. I can't, in good faith, call any movie that fails to tell a full story good.
Yup. It's idiomatic to the max. It's extremely idiomatic. It feels like, you're gonna share those gripes.
The
in
gripes
movies
are definitely
because
still there.
They don't fix shit that you can forgive someone for doing in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, that's an easy fucking fix.
I liked the Lynch one.
Yeah, me too. I
Like,
don't like him, but I liked it.
Like, New Dune's just so bland. It's set on a world where the only colors they have are gray and blue.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has depression.
Yep.
And Timothy Chalamet plays like a catatonic horse boy who gets sent to a mysterious desert planet. And then it's like an adaptation for people who think a good adaptation is just something that does everything the book did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it changes nothing, but it does drain any sense of fun or color out of the movie. And everybody's just like, you gotta... Fuck. I gotta go get some lunch. I'll be right back. They're all giving that level of excitement. I did not enjoy that movie.
The one thing that I got clearer in the movie than I did in the book is I remember what Duncan Idaho does.
Yes.
Just because it's Jason Momoa.
I know
so I'm like,
exactly who that character
there
is.
He
yes.
is. There's that guy. His name's Duncan Idaho, and he's up to stuff. Whereas in the book, all I remember is his name's Duncan Idaho.
That's pretty much all he does in the movie too.
Exactly.
His name is Duncan Idaho, and he
has that fucking
He was
name.
an odd pick for Duncan. Well, that's
I'm down for putting him in
later
anything.
books are why I'm like,
Yes.
I want them to do the later things.
Do you know? Susie, do you know?
I don't know. Isn't like Paul's son a worm god who resurrects Duncan, Idaho or something?
Over and over again.
And over and over and over as his like loyal servant.
Yeah.
Over and over, and the Duncans have shared traits.
It's like a dog that he keeps cloning.
I just want to see Timothy Chalamet's son turn into a giant worm.
Yeah. I think Timothy Chalamet's son should be
Joseph.
played by like de-aged Kyle MacLachlan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the Javier Bardem is a lie. Also, saying Zendaya is in the movie is a lie.
That is a huge lie. That's a huge lie. That bothered me.
Zendaya is around the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was hanging out on set. Like that's how much she was in that movie.
Zendaya is the bookend. That's it.
I can't even believe like it's not even like a Lord of the Rings thing where they like filmed them back to back. They filmed an unfinished story and then we're like, hope it does well enough.
Yeah. And don't know exactly when they're shooting part 2 as far as I've heard. Like they're going to do part 2.
They greenlit it and then Denise like, oh, I'm getting back to writing. And I'm just like, God, don't.
Yeah.
Denise!
It did like Blade Runner though.
Denise!
I see, even Blade Runner, like I love...
Impressed.
I love Arrival, but Denis wasn't screenwriter on Arrival. It was somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Blade Runner 2049 was great for me until they introduced Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And then it felt like they tried to start another movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I see that.
it didn't give the actual movie any time to finish.
Yeah, I totally see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also, like, my friend Keegan, who I went and saw Spider-Man with, he loves Blade Runner. He loves Blade Runner, and he like loved Blade Runner 2049.
Nice.
So it's, agree to disagree.
Yeah. It's one of those things, I love the colors
Oh, the
in
vibes.
2049.
It's a really pretty movie.
Yeah. I really liked Denis' sense of scale that he maintained between that and with Dune. But the colors did not vibe.
Yeah.
It was interesting seeing, because like when I read it, I pictured it as like a retro sci-fi thing with like tons of color and like colorful spacesuits and everything.
It's also kind of like, okay,
But
so it's like
I get it.
the first part of Star Wars, like we're in terms of colors. I loved the soundtrack because I could not parse it, and I think that Tig said that it sounds like he's destroying machines that have gained consciousness or something.
Yeah, I think something like that.
The soundtrack is just like screaming machinery.
Yeah,
like
because they've had to hear the credits so many times.
I couldn't hear a goddamn thing in that movie until it was just like, and that was my other thing about the movie is every time they wanted to make something seem big, epic, they would have just like a really big wide shot, always the same scale, and then they would and that was every time. Every time they were like, we want to make this be big and imposing. Same wide shot. And so just like, I don't know, I got so tired of it after a while and I couldn't understand what the fuck anybody was saying.
Yup.
I couldn't understand and I was like, can I get subtitles? I
were
think I would have
talking.
liked the movie more if I knew what the words were. But by the time I got through the movie, I did not care enough to go back on HBO Max and watch it with subtitles.
Yeah, we watched it on HBO Max, and
with
I feel
subtitles.
With subtitles,
We
and,
like put them on like at the like we started watching. And we're like subtitles.
Yeah, and that definitely helped. I know a lot of people were like, "You have to see it in theaters." I'm like, no.
No,
Electric Sheep was a better book than Blade Runner was a movie.
Yeah.
It's certainly wilder.
Yeah.
And it has a
It's
lot.
very different.
It's different. It's super different, and it has much stronger of a sci-fi core. Because Dickie was on the good LSD.
The Bay Area's
when he was
own
writing that.
Philip K. Dick. Where my dick
I call
head's
him
at.
Dickie.
As you...
I did have another movie recommendation.
Yes.
Oh.
This one's for fans of murder, for fans of Al Pacino and for fans of fisting. I would recommend checking out the movie Cruising.
Ooh.
It's a scene where Al Pacino must go undercover into the gay S&M underworld of early, like, pre-AIDS New York.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, it's just very uncomfortable Al Pacino in a bunch of gay bars. And there's a scene where it's like, and I mean, really, I just like, I enjoyed the movie. I wish they would have gone like a little further. Like, excuse me for wanting to see Al Pacino deep throat, but like,
what year did it come out?
1980.
That's Reagan, right?
But like, well was it 1980 or 1981?
It's the election year. He was elected in 80.
Reagan was in the air.
But the Reagan vibes.
They apparently, or according to Matt Bloom, who we were watching, the video essayist, he talked about how there was a lot more gay shit just on TV, like real explicit gay shit. Just on TV, and then when Reagan got elected, all of the people making TV were like, pulled all of it. Yeah. So like, before Reagan even, Reagan had been like being
Starsky
an
and
asshole,
Hutch went from like an episode
super gay
set in a like drag bar in San Francisco that like looked relatively authentic and actually had gay people in it in a dive bar.
And they hired real drag queens to like do performances.
Yeah. Whereas Murder, She Wrote then did an episode set in San Francisco where the character went to a drag bar and it was all straight people, and they made sure that you knew
entirely by straight people.
All the drag performers were straight because they all made out with their wives multiple times throughout the episode.
They had to say to each other, the main characters, she's like, you know, Victoria, does this place seem a little strange to you? And she's looking around. She's like, not really. Like, there's an even gender distribution in this gay bar.
And at the end, the main drag character goes to a church and gets married to his wife, and then gets cast as a soap opera star for a role he never auditioned for. And there's also and the killer is played by Mr. Cotter and is a drum comedian who, after he confesses the murder, goes ba-dum-bum, because he was known for being the first to do the rim shot, and so he sadly welcomes his murder confession with a rim shot.
Well, this movie's got fisting, and then Al Pacino's just in the ring.
Hell yeah.
They go in.
I love that. So Cruising.
Cruising. I remember you came up in some
you know
of my
what?
classes.
I'm just tossing it out there.
Yeah.
If you watch Cruising and you're like, God damn, I'm in a William Friedkin kick.
Ooh.
Okay, but I don't want to go to the big names. I'm not going Exorcist. I'm not going French Connection. May I point you towards Sorcerer?
Ooh.
It is so stressful. It is so goddamn stressful.
I've heard of Sorcerer.
Sorcerer. It is about 4 men who have to drive a truck. It's so stressful.
Oh my god, that looks like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes,
it looks like an actual nightmare.
So they have to drive the truck, and the truck is full of unstable explosives, and so if it jostles too much, they will explode.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
That does seem like a nightmare.
And they have to drive through like 218 miles of unpaved jungle.
Ooh. That sounds really fun.
It's a good movie, but it's one of those where I don't know. I just screamed at the movie the whole time. It was just like, It's one of those. It's great though.
Oh,
that's a scene in the movie. That's a rickety ass bridge.
Yeah. It's so much ricketier than the drawing on the the poster makes it look like.
And it's just like one of those things where you wonder, it's like, how could you have filmed this?
Yeah.
Like, how do you build that and then film it? I don't know. It was insane.
I wonder how many trucks they lost.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Great.
Everyone, check out Cruising.
Check out Cruising.
Check out Sorcerer.
Yeah.
And check out Never Stop. Never Stopping.
Pop Star. Never Stop.
Pop Star.
Never Stopping.
Hell yeah. Yes. Susie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining us.
you.
Tell us what you have been up to,
Yeah.
where people can find your stuff, how people can support you. Tell us all the things.
And we'll include all links in the show notes as well.
I watched all of the Matrix movies.
Yes.
They got more confusing for me as they went on, but
Yes.
that's
Makes sense.
fine.
Yeah.
Once they were like, he's French and his name is the Merovingian, I was gone. I was done. I'm like, I'm here for the fights. That's it. The new one was fun. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know. What am I up to? Fuck. Whenever the after show comes back, I'll be doing Susie's time again.
Hell yeah.
I do Even an Android Can Cry on Planet
Yes.
Scum on Mondays. We're currently watching through season 1 of Daredevil.
Ooh.
Due to some recent developments within the rest of the Marvel stuff. So we're watching through Daredevil. Anyone is welcome to come hop in on that. I'm trying to just think of other stuff. I don't even know. Celery Teeth may possibly do a show soon. Big maybe.
What?
Big maybe.
What?
That's so cool.
Oh my god.
It also may not be Celery Teeth because our keyboard is moved. So we'll see what happens.
Celery gums.
Yeah, it'll be something.
Asparagus teeth.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm just out here. I'm out here living.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
out here
Yeah.
surviving. Some friend of mine is putting together a live reading for people on Instagram, and I'm like, do you accept stand-up? So if they do, I'll let y'all know.
Yes.
And then if anybody feels able to tip their Susie right now, that's that info in the chat.
Please do.
Yes.
I would
Please do.
certainly
Tip
appreciate it.
your
But like zero
Susie.
obligation. And yeah, that's really about it. Thank y'all so much for having me on here just to like talk. This has been really nice.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
for coming
us.
on.
I was so relieved
Yeah.
when you messaged me because I was like, hell yeah, we got Susie. Okay.
And we've missed Susie's time on the after show.
We have
That's
been
one of the big-
seriously missing Susie's time, which is such a bummer.
Yeah.
I just want more Susie in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of tipping your Susie, we have a little plug this week
Yes.
on Radio Free Multiverse.
Why did I not realize what our own plug was gonna be?
Yeah.
Just like, wait, what could we be plugging? What do we do?
What do we do?
That's a really
What's
good question.
the thing that we
What's
do?
our like big thing that we do every single week? What could it be? I'm not vamping at all right now. Definitely.
You guys
not
cut your
vamping.
toenails weekly? I really want to
Yes.
get into like more of a habit with that.
Ooh,
Yes.
I do that.
I've been collecting them
Yes.
as well.
Nice.
You can sell them to fairies, like tooth fairies,
Yeah.
but like it's toenail fairies. Not
You
that
can
many
use them
people
as
know.
toothpicks too.
I was
Yes.
surprised. Oh, also, Casecam Theater with Sam is
Oh, hell
tomorrow doing the
yes.
first episode of the podcast Greater Boston. You can look for details about that in the plugs thread on.
That's 5 p.m. Pacific, right? 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 5, 6,
I
7,
believe
8 p.m.
so, yes.
Eastern, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. Correct us in the chat if we're Discord. That command used to work. I'll have to fix that. But what we're doing on Friday is we're going to Patreon Earth.
That's right. We're going to Patreon Earth, where our buddies, Fluval Grand Trivia Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire and Christy, will be presenting their Patreon, Radio Free Multiverse at patreon.com, to the Grand Council of Patrons, and we're going to have a ton of special rewards. That's right. Special rewards for patrons and viewers.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to show up for some of the special things that are planned.
Yeah.
Who knows? Is something going to come in the mail to you? Probably.
Gotta pat those Rions.
Gotta pat those Rions.
And we'll
Gotta
be
pat them.
joined by Clancy Kramer, aka Tig Naruto, Eric Durham, James Hartenfeld, and Isaiah Thomas, who, if you've been watching this show, you'll remember sent us.
Oh, we were gonna open with puppets today.
Puppets of ourselves.
We're such fools. They're sitting right out of frame. I literally haven't even had the wherewithal to like rearrange the studio so the fucking puppets of ourselves are visible. Because I am a fool. But I'm very excited for this week's Radio Free Multiverse. Everyone should come check it out. Everyone should check out Susie on all of her socials. Here, you do the plug.
That's right. Check out Susie on all of her socials.
And remember to tip your
Susie.
Join us Friday for Grand Trivia.
No, not Grand Trivia.
Well, Patreon.
Radio Free Multiverse with Patreon Earth. I thought that was an okay plug. Good.
And is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah.
Susie?
Oh, I'll show what Thomas once sent me.
Yes!
Which is a DVD copy of Carlito's Way signed by Thomas.
Oh my god, I love
that. That's so
great
good.
Great movie
Love
also.
that.
I did not expect to actually enjoy this movie, but I did. I thought it was just going to be like some weird Al Pacino macho trash, but like no, it's not.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, he's so bald.
The secret's been revealed.
Show his creepy head. You can see Thomas on Indecision Television on YouTube. And I don't remember his Instagram.
Jigglypuff and stuff on Instagram.
Jigglypuff and stuff.
And
420.
No, 420's on Twitch. Just Jigglypuff
and stuff
on IG.
Friends. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
We love you all dearly. We
love
hope you
all
have a
dearly.
wonderful week.
Yes.
We're going to see a bunch of you tomorrow for Make Yourself Cry.
That's right.
You're going to go do Scum Theater. You're going to go see Susie's shows.
Yes.
And Marvel. Fuck.
Even an android
can cry!
On Mondays.
And you're going to tip your Susie.
Mm-hmm.
And again! Good night and good claw!